Hey there, happy crocheters. I'm your co-host Eva Dam from the Crochet Crowd. Today is Stitching Up Sunday, where we pair up stitches together to form awesome patterns. On screen is today's multiple to change the width. If you want to do an afghan, refer to our afghan size sheet for inches. Chain with the multiple number to get the width you need. Then add the second number at the end of the chain for the balance. For yarn and hook size, darlings, ensure the hook complements the ball band information or close to it. Grab your hook and yarn and let's go visit Mikey in the studio.
Here's today's goal, and it is the tweed stitch, and it actually exists in a pattern on yarnspirations.com. Let me show you that pattern real quick because I will link to that in the article, and then I'll show you how this is done. Here's the pattern here that I'll link to, and it's called the Tweed Crochet Shawl. And what this is that it's a repeat of 4 different rows in order to get it to work. You will see that there's different colors, but that's not a cut color. We're going to be taking our color throughout the whole thing, so we don't have to have cut colors every time we're changing it to have the stripes. So it's a really interesting way that it's going to approach. I've done a quick little diagram for you that you can see, and I'll show you that next. So here's my quick little diagram, and the multiple is 2 plus 1 that you saw in the intro today. So what we can do is that we can just go across really quite quickly, and we're going to be using color A and B. So we're going to get our first color set, and then once we get that color set, then we are then going to just drop that color, just let it hold to the side, and introduce the second color B, and then we're going to do that. So what's going to happen here is that A and B, they just just go up. So you're going to see that it's carrying up. So if you look at the sample here, you'll see that the A and the B just carried up on the side, and what side it carries up on, you can kind of see that, right? So it's a reversible pattern, so the front side looks identical to the back side, so there's really no such thing as a right side or good side, I guess you can honestly say with this one here. So this stitch that is made up of today is actually single crochet double, single double, and so then what happens here, instead of just using one color to go there and back and then change to the second, we're changing every other row in order to create the drop down that you see. Isn't that awesome? So it looks really quite pretty when you're going to do it. So today's demonstration is going to be using a 6mm size J crochet hook, and I'm going to be using the brand new yarn by Yarnspirations called Lincoln Fog. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful yarn. It's 75% acrylic, 25% wool, and it is a dream to work with. So that's what's recommended in that shawl as well, or in that crochet shawl. So let's begin and show you how this is done. So I'm getting both of my yarns ready. So because this is 25% wool, I can see somebody saying, well, I can't do that stitch because it's made of wool. So remember that today is just a stitching concept. You can use any yarn, any hook, as long as the yarn complements the hook. So what you need to do is choose one color that is going to be your foundation color. So I'm just going to start off with this beautiful color here, and this color here, I'm looking off camera, is called silver, and the other color that you see is called wine. So we're going to just make a slip knot, and we're going to chain in multiples of 2. So you just go 1 2 1 2 1 2 until you're satisfied, and then add 1 at the end. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and when you're satisfied, I'm just going to say I'm satisfied now, is that I can just say 1. So you can lay this chain down on something that you're trying to get the size to, if it's an afghan or whatever you want to do, and then you can determine that's where you're going to stop. So let's begin row number 1. So in row number 1, we're going to go second chain from the hook and just turn it over and get the back hump of the chain, and I want you to single crochet, and then in the next chain in the back hump is double crochet, and you're going to repeat those 2 stitches all the way across. So the next one is a single crochet and then a double crochet. So please do that all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of the row, and we just got to make sure that we're ending on the right stitch, and then we're going to introduce the secondary color, but don't cut this color please, and I'll see you at the end of the row. So if you're repeating the pattern, the last stitch is going to be a double crochet, and it states that as well. So I don't want you cutting this color at all. What I want you to do is just pull a loop and just get it ready, and then turn the work, and just put the yarn strand out of the way and the loop out of the way, and let's begin using our secondary color. So we're going to grab our secondary color, and we're going to create a slip knot to begin, and this is where we're going to start our story. So right on the top where the other one has ended, that's where we're going to start, and you're just going to pull a loop through, Now the one below that we just did that in is a double crochet. Keep that in mind because this one's gonna be a single crochet, so it's completely opposite. So chain one and single crochet into that one. And what I would do if I were you, just put that straggler down on top of the line so that it gets stuck underneath, so you don't have to worry about sewing it later. So that because this is a single crochet that's sitting on top of a double, the next one underneath is a single, so this one must be a double. So it's opposite to what's underneath. So if that was a double, the next one is a single, and then a double, and then a single. So I found with myself, I've done this before, is that once your brain starts clicking this in, I find that I can do it without really thinking much about it. That's one thing that just takes a little bit of practice and you get used to the pattern as well. So you're just basically doing singles and doubles just opposite to what's underneath. But once you get the swing of it, it's just single, double all the way across. So I'm almost there. So my last one here should be a double because it has a single here. And once I'm there, I'm gonna pull. But you do not turn the work this time. Now you're gonna go back to where you started and put the hook into that loop, and you're going to pull up on the yarn strand to pull it back. So this is a single, so you need to slip stitch into the single first. That keeps it going up nicely, and then chain 3, which would count as a double crochet. And now the other one, see that it's a double crochet, so it must be a single crochet this time. So that's how you get started, right? So if that was single, the other one, the next one is double, and you just keep doing every other one across. So essentially what you're doing here is that you're taking two colors across at the same time before turning your work to go back in the other direction. So if you do one row and then turn, then you've turned too early. You have to make sure both of the yarns get over to the other side. Okay, so the last one is a double. So this one, like you can see it, and then this time it must be a single, and then you're going to just single and then loop it and pull it up. So then turn your work and just organize your yarn so that they're out of the way, and we're gonna pull the purple back up. So the wine, just pull it back down snug. So we know that this was a single that when we finished it, so we're just going to slip stitch it just to hold it to where it needs to go, and chain 3, which will count as a double, and then the next one you see it's a double, so it must be single. Isn't that easy? So when you get used to this pattern, you'll be able to identify which is which. You see how this stitch looks squatted, then we know that's double crochet underneath, and when it doesn't look squatted we know it's single, so therefore a double has to go over top of it. So if you can look for that, it's kind of neat. One thing that I have done in this kind of pattern before a long time ago is that I messed up somewhere along the rows and then it became out of sync. There's really no easy way to fix it when it's out of sync, so you just gotta keep an eye on it as you're going. So this is a last double, so it must be a single crochet that sits on it, and then we're gonna pull this one up, and this time it was the top of the double, which is a chain 3 that counts as a double, so that's the top of your double, and you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in there because it's considered a double underneath. And so the next one is a single, you can see that, and then that's where you're gonna start doing your opposites all the way across. So this is what creates the tweed stitch, is just being able to identify and pulling up your yarns as you go. You can see that the different types of yarns have a different elegant look to it. This is Lincoln Fog. It's a nicer brand yarn than the other one. The other one's more value oriented. This one's more luxury oriented. And you can see that it has a completely kind of, it definitely has a different feel, but it also has a different visual effect to it as well. So at the end, see how it's single, so it must be double. Pull up a loop. So the trick is just to watch where you're turning. So when you turn, you're gonna go for the wine, pull up the wine, identify what's there already. So you can see that it was a double, so slip stitch it, chain 1 and single, and then the next one you can see it's a single, so it's going to be a double. So this would be how you would do the tweed stitch. It's actually a pretty simple idea, but it really does a beautiful look, and if you choose the right yarns and stuff, you can actually really, I think, really have a good time with this one, and I think it's really quite remarkable. So this is Stitching Up Sunday. This is the tweed stitch, and I hopefully that you enjoy today, and we hope to see you again next Sunday as we have more ideas for you throughout 2020. Have a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon right here on the Crochet Crowd.